The morning sun streamed through the worn windows of Casa de Esperanza, a small orphanage in the outskirts of Madrid that housed 23 children ranging in age from 4 to 16. Sister Carmen Rodriguez had been running the facility for 15 years, dedicating her life to caring for children who had been abandoned, orphaned, or removed from dangerous family situations. Despite her unwavering commitment and the support of a handful of volunteers, the orphanage struggled constantly with funding shortages that affected everything from the quality of meals to the children's educational opportunities and basic medical care. The building itself was over 50 years old and in desperate need of repairs that the orphanage simply couldn't afford, with leaking roofs, outdated plumbing, and heating systems that barely functioned during Madrid's cold winters. On this particular Tuesday morning in November 2018, Sister Carmen was reviewing the month's financial statements in her small office, trying to figure out how to stretch their limited resources to cover the growing expenses of caring for the children in her charge. The numbers were particularly troubling this month, as several major donors had reduced their contributions due to their own financial difficulties, and the government subsidies that helped support the orphanage had been cut due to budget constraints. She was interrupted by a knock on her door from Miguel, one of the older children who helped with various tasks around the facility. "Sister Carmen," Miguel said hesitantly, "there are some people here to see you. They say they're from a law firm and they have important papers for you." Sister Carmen sighed, assuming that this was probably related to some bureaucratic issue or perhaps even bad news about the orphanage's legal status. She made her way to the reception area, where she found 3 professionally dressed individuals waiting with serious expressions and leather briefcases. The lead representative, a distinguished woman in her 40s, stepped forward to introduce herself. "Sister Carmen, my name is Isabel Martinez, and I'm a partner at Martinez & Associates legal firm. We represent a client who wishes to remain anonymous for now, but who has made a decision that will significantly impact your orphanage and the children in your care." Sister Carmen felt her heart sink, assuming that this was the beginning of some legal challenge that could threaten the orphanage's existence. "What kind of decision?" she asked cautiously. Isabel smiled reassuringly. "Please don't worry, Sister Carmen. This is very good news. Our client has decided to provide comprehensive financial support for Casa de Esperanza, including funding for building renovations, ongoing operational expenses, educational programs, and individual support for each child currently living here." Sister Carmen stared at the lawyer in confusion, unable to process what she was hearing. "I don't understand. Who is your client, and why would they want to help our orphanage? We're not particularly well known, and we don't have any connections to wealthy donors." Isabel exchanged glances with her colleagues before responding. "Our client prefers to remain anonymous at this time, but I can tell you that they learned about Casa de Esperanza through research into local charitable organizations that serve vulnerable children. They were particularly impressed by your dedication and the positive environment you've created here despite significant financial challenges." She opened her briefcase and removed a thick folder of documents. "What I'm about to show you represents a commitment that will transform not just this facility, but the lives of every child currently living here. Our client has established a trust fund containing 5 million euros specifically for Casa de Esperanza, with additional provisions for ongoing monthly support to ensure the orphanage's long-term sustainability." Sister Carmen's legs gave way, and she had to sit down in a nearby chair. 5 million euros? That's impossible. There must be some mistake. Why would anyone give that much money to us?" The second lawyer, a younger man named Carlos, stepped forward with additional documentation. "There's no mistake, Sister Carmen. Furthermore, our client has arranged for each child currently residing here to receive an individual education fund of 100,000 euros that will cover their schooling through university level, including all expenses related to higher education or vocational training." Sister Carmen began crying, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what she was hearing. "This is a miracle. I've been praying for help for so long, and now I can barely believe this is real." Isabel continued with the details of the arrangement. The trust fund will immediately release funds for comprehensive renovation of this building, including new roofing, modern plumbing and electrical systems, updated kitchen facilities, and expansion of the living areas to provide more space and privacy for the children. Additionally, there will be funding for educational programs, recreational activities, medical care, and anything else needed to ensure these children have every opportunity to succeed in life. Over the following weeks, the transformation of Casa de Esperanza began in earnest. Construction crews arrived to begin the renovations, while the children were temporarily relocated to a beautiful temporary facility that had been arranged and paid for by the mysterious benefactor. The children, who had grown accustomed to making do with very little, watched in amazement as their humble orphanage was transformed into a modern, comfortable home with spacious bedrooms, a state-of-the-art kitchen, a library, computer lab, and recreational facilities they had only dreamed of. 8-year-old Sophia, who had been at the orphanage since she was 3, expressed the wonder that all the children felt. "Sister Carmen, is this really going to be our new home? It looks like a palace." Sister Carmen smiled through her tears, still struggling to believe the incredible change in their circumstances. "Yes, mi niña, this is all for you and your brothers and sisters. Someone very special wants to make sure you have everything you need to grow up happy and successful." 12-year-old David, one of the older boys who had been helping Sister Carmen with various tasks around the old facility, asked the question that was on everyone's mind. "But who is doing all this for us? Why don't they want us to know who they are?" Sister Carmen had been wondering the same thing, but the lawyers had maintained strict confidentiality about their client's identity. "Sometimes angels prefer to work in secret, David. What matters is that someone cares about all of you very much and wants to give you the best possible future." 3 months after the renovations were completed, the children moved into their transformed home. The difference was remarkable, not just in the physical environment, but in the children's attitudes and aspirations. With access to proper educational resources, computers, and tutoring programs, their academic performance improved dramatically. The younger children seemed more confident and happy, while the older ones began talking seriously about their future educational goals, knowing that college was now a realistic possibility rather than an impossible dream. One evening in February 2019, as Sister Carmen was reading bedtime stories to some of the younger children in their beautiful new library, she received a phone call from Isabel Martinez. "Sister Carmen, our client would like to visit the orphanage tomorrow evening, if that would be convenient. He's been following the progress of the renovations and the children's adjustment to their new environment, and he would like to meet everyone personally." Sister Carmen felt her heart racing with anticipation. "Of course. The children have been asking about our benefactor constantly. They've been making thank you cards and drawings to show their gratitude. Will we finally learn who has been so generous to us?" Isabel's voice carried a note of excitement. "Yes, tomorrow evening, you'll meet the person who has made all of this possible. I think you and the children will be quite surprised." The next day, Sister Carmen gathered all 23 children in the main living area of their renovated home. She had told them that their special benefactor was coming to visit, and the excitement was palpable. The children had spent hours preparing thank you presentations, artwork, and songs to show their appreciation. As evening approached, they all waited eagerly by the windows, watching for any sign of their mysterious guardian angel. At exactly 7 o'clock, a black SUV pulled up to the orphanage entrance. Sister Carmen watched from the window as the door opened and a familiar figure stepped out. Her hands flew to her mouth in shock as she recognized Cristiano Ronaldo, accompanied by Isabel Martinez and another man who appeared to be part of his security team. The children, still gathered around the windows, erupted in excited screams and shouts as they recognized the world-famous footballer. "It's Cristiano Ronaldo!" shouted Miguel, the teenager who had first announced the lawyer's arrival months earlier. "He's here! He's actually here!" Sister Carmen quickly gathered the children and explained that they needed to be respectful and calm when their benefactor arrived, though she was struggling to contain her own excitement and disbelief. When Ronaldo entered the main living area, accompanied by Isabel, the children fell silent in awe. He was dressed casually in jeans and a sweater, and his expression showed genuine emotion as he looked around at the beautiful space and the faces of the children he had been supporting. "Hola, everyone," Ronaldo said softly, kneeling down to be at eye level with the younger children. "I'm Cristiano, and I'm very happy to finally meet all of you." 4-year-old Anna, the youngest child at the orphanage, broke the silence by running up to Ronaldo and hugging his leg. "Thank you for our beautiful house," she said in her tiny voice. "Sister Carmen said an angel was helping us, and now I know angels look like you." Ronaldo picked up Anna gently, his eyes filled with tears. "You're very welcome, Pequeña, but you're wrong about one thing. You children are the real angels. I just wanted to make sure you have everything you need to shine as brightly as you deserve." Sister Carmen approached Ronaldo with tears streaming down her face. "Cristiano, I can't express how grateful we are. You've transformed not just this building, but these children's entire futures. Why did you choose us? How did you even know about Casa de Esperanza?" Ronaldo set Ana down gently and turned to Sister Carmen. "About a year ago, I was driving through this neighborhood after visiting a friend, and I saw some of your children playing in the small courtyard outside your old building. They looked happy despite their circumstances, and something about their joy in the face of obvious hardship moved me deeply. I had my team research the orphanage, and when I learned about your dedication and the challenges you were facing, I knew I wanted to help." 15-year-old Maria, one of the oldest children, stepped forward with a carefully prepared speech. "Señor Ronaldo, we've all been dreaming about what we might say to you if we ever met you. We thought maybe you were a businessman or a politician, but knowing that you're someone we've admired for so long makes this even more special. You've given us more than just a beautiful home. You've given us hope for our futures." Ronaldo listened intently as Maria continued. "Some of us came here because we had no parents, others because our families couldn't take care of us. We've always felt different from other children, like we didn't have the same chances in life. But now, knowing that someone as successful as you believes in us enough to invest in our futures, we feel like we can achieve anything." The evening continued with the children presenting their thank you gifts to Ronaldo, drawings, poems, and songs they had prepared. 10-year-old Carlos had written a poem that he recited with tears in his eyes. "We used to wonder if anyone cared about children like us, but now we know that kindness exists in the world, and dreams can come true when someone believes in you." Ronaldo was visibly moved by each presentation, taking time to speak individually with every child about their interests, dreams, and goals. He learned that Sofia wanted to become a doctor, David hoped to study engineering, and Miguel dreamed of becoming a teacher. He assured each of them that their education funds would support whatever path they chose to pursue, and that he would be following their progress with interest and pride. As the evening wound down, Ronaldo gathered all the children together for a group photo and a final message. "I want you all to remember something very important," he said. "You don't owe me anything for what I've done here. This isn't about charity or pity. It's about recognizing the incredible potential that each of you possesses. You are bright, talented, loving children who deserve every opportunity to succeed in life. I believe in every single one of you, and I want you to believe in yourselves just as strongly." Before leaving, Ronaldo made one final announcement that left everyone speechless. "Casa de Esperanza will always be special to me, and you will always be part of my family. I'm going to visit regularly to see how you're doing, and when you graduate from university or achieve your other goals, I want to be there to celebrate with you. This isn't the end of our relationship, it's just the beginning." Over the following years, Ronaldo kept his promise to stay involved in the children's lives. He attended graduation ceremonies, birthday parties, and other special events. He provided additional support when needed, including funding for advanced educational opportunities and helping some of the older children find internships and job opportunities. The children of Casa de Esperanza grew up knowing that they were valued and supported, and their achievements reflected that confidence. Several went on to university, Others pursued successful careers in trades and other fields, and all carried with them the knowledge that kindness and generosity could transform lives. Sister Carmen often reflected on the miracle that had transformed their small orphanage and the children's lives. In interviews with local media, she would say, Cristiano didn't just adopt these children financially, he adopted them into his heart. He showed them that they were worthy of love and investment, and that changed everything about how they saw themselves and their futures. The story of Casa de Esperanza became legendary in Madrid's charitable community, inspiring other wealthy individuals and organizations to support children's homes and educational programs. But for the children who lived through the transformation, the most important lesson was simpler. They learned that they mattered, that their dreams were valid, and that sometimes, when you least expect it, miracles do happen through the kindness of others.